Genetics. So we're going over today, guys. Your genes. Today, I can describe how genes are related to traits. Traits are everything that makes you you. Your characteristics, your hair color, whether or not you have a cleft chin or a butt chin. What hand you use, if you're right-handed or left-handed. A weird hitchhiker's thumb. Allergies, and a widow's peak, like Willie Munster, where it comes in like it's a V, comes back out. Or whether or not you have freckles, like this little redheaded boy or Jamie Foxx. Those are all traits. These are all the things that make you you. Try and get your traits through your genes. And these are parts of DNA that control traits. They're located on your DNA strand. Genes come in two different forms called alleles. You get one copy from your mom and one copy from your dad. For example, your gene is your hair color. Your allele is whether it's brown or blonde hair. As you see in the nucleus, and it's an animal cell because it's round and doesn't have that rigid cell wall. Right here are the chromosomes, where you get from your parents. Remember, every human has 46 chromosomes. And in that chromosome is your DNA. This ribbon right here, that's where your genes are held. You have a genotype. That's what your genes say in your DNA. And they're represented by two letters. For example, big B, little b, or big R, big R. They're always represented in letters. And your phenotype, well, that's the traits expressed physical characteristics. Phenotype, physical characteristics. That's whether you have brown hair or red flowers. The letters and the genotype, well, that just tells you what the trait is that you can physically see. The genotype determines the phenotype. Right here, we have a genotype. And that's code for the phenotype. So these genotypes might have the fly's wingspan or how long it is. So it'll be represented in two different letters. And then the phenotypes will we physically see. As in these limes. You have three different limes and three different genotypes. Big S, big S, big S, little s, little s, little s. Those determine the physical characteristics of those limes. Now, go ahead on your engaged section of the notebook, so the page on the left side of your notebook, and write these down real quick. Are these genotypes or phenotypes? Is big A, little a genotype? 2, brown fur, genotype or phenotype? 3, blonde hair, genotype or phenotype? And 4, little g, little g. Is that a phenotype or a genotype? Number 1, genotype, only letters. 2, phenotype, it's physical. 3, blonde hair, it's physical. 4, little g, genotype, because it's two letters. Now, when it comes to dominance, you have two different things. Dominant gene and a recessive gene. Dominant gene is the allele that is expressed whenever present. If you got it, it shows. Dominant are always represented with a capital letter. So you can see B or G. Now remember, think dominant, big, strong, always represented by a big letter. So recessive gene, the allele expressed only when no dominant alleles are present. Like if you're shy, lowercase letters, little, lowercase letters are the recessive genes. Right here, H or M, those are lowercase, those are recessive genes. Now, how do we know what phenotype will be expressed? How do I know someone will have brown eyes or blue eyes, for example? Let's find out. Homozygous. Now, be mature about this, guys. Both alleles for a gene are the same. Homo equals the same. I don't want to hear any laughing. Example, big B, or little h, they're the same. They're homozygous. Heterozygous. Alleles for a gene that are different. Hetero means different. Example, big B, little M, little m. Those are different. They're heterozygous. Let's do some examples. Which trait is dominant? One trait, rosy cheeks. R for rosy cheeks. Little r for not rosy cheeks. Do this in your engaged section of the notebook. What is dominant? And the second one, freckles. Big F has freckles. Little f has no freckles. And trait, your eye color. Big B, brown eyes. Little b, blue eyes. What are dominant? Thick hair, big T, is dominant over thin hair, little t. What hair does a person with big T have? It's thick because it has at least one dominant allele, has one big T. What hair does a person with big T, little t have? It's also thick because all you need is one dominant allele to express that trait. If you ever see a capital letter, it's going to be dominant, and it'll always come first. Now, what hair does person with little t have? That's right, you guessed it, thin, because there are no dominant alleles. There are only little alleles. Little t, that's recessive. Not doing whiteboards, so just ignore this slide. So, key points I want you to remember. You see a big letter, a big allele, a big genotype, dominant, always. Even if it's just one, it's always. Two little letters are recessive. Always going to be recessive if you see two little letters. All right. Thanks for your patience with all the notes. I know it was a lot. And we're done. Thompson, out.